The thing that I like most about... That's not centered, is it? I think it's close enough. What's going on with you guys? TheCaliEffect, king of games here. And today we're going to be going over, that's right, you guessed it, the staples tier list. Now, for the people that don't know, staples are pretty important to the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. They are very powerful spell, trap, or monster cards that are played in a variety of decks. These cards are generic and, like I said, very, very powerful. And in this video, we're going to rank the best staples to the staples you probably should consider against playing. So of course, if you want to see more videos like this, then be sure to destroy that subscribe button. We are so close to 100,000 subscribers, 100,000, two-stroke. And it would be amazing if you guys helped us get there. So if you are not part of the two-stroke community, maybe you should consider joining by hitting that subscribe button. Also, for the people that want to take it a level stronger, I have an amazing Patreon community that I often neglect, like how my dad neglected me. But there are some really cool rewards there that you guys will get from time to time, as well as sneak peek on certain changes that will be happening within the channel. So with all that being said, let's jump right into the staples tier list. I technically have 6 different categories, but really it's only 5. We have the cards that you better be caught with it. I think E40 said it best. I'd rather be judged by 12 than to be carried by 6. So yeah, if you understand exactly what I'm saying, then you understand exactly what I'm saying. These are the cards that you probably should have in your main board or sideboard alike. Next is going to be the underrated category, which is not necessarily above the pretty good category, but these are the cards that players aren't necessarily looking out for, so you might be able to catch them by surprise. After that is the pretty good. These are actually, I mean, it should probably be renamed to really good, as these are the staple cards that are really good into the format, and you probably should expect to see them more often than not. After that, we have the situational cards that are only good in particular situations, and then everyone's favorite category, which is, oh no, what are you doing, baby? It's pretty self-explanatory. What are you doing playing these Yu-Gi-Oh cards? Come on, think big brain. Why are you playing them right now? Not saying that these Yu-Gi-Oh cards are bad, but you probably should reconsider playing them this format. Let's jump on in with Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring being in our staples tier list. It's actually a Yu-Gi-Oh card that a lot of players play in every single deck. So it is a hand trap, but it also is a staple. I think Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring is a really, really good Yu-Gi-Oh card. You can actually get away with not playing Ash Blossom right now. I was actually thinking about making a video about the problem with hand traps in this current format, because there is a huge problem with hand traps in, guess what, this current format. Not as bad as when I made hand traps were bad in that particular format, and for some reason people think that I think it applies to every format. But there is a genuine problem with hand traps, and if you guys would like to see that video, be sure to destroy that like button and let me know down below in the comment section that that is something you're interested in. Moving forward, Book of Moon is actually a fairly underrated staple Yu-Gi-Oh card. Now the reason why I say this is because Book of Moon is such a versatile Yu-Gi-Oh card. It can flip face-up monsters face down, preventing them from being synchro summoned, link summoned, or exceed summoned, while also being a card that can flip monsters face down on attack declaration and can flip your own monsters face down in case you need them to be face down. Book of Moon isn't necessarily for every Yu-Gi-Oh deck, but it's a very versatile Yu-Gi-Oh card that can help in a ton of situations. Next is going to be Called by the Grave. This card is going to be a better be caught with it type card. Now, just because there's a problem with hand traps doesn't mean that players aren't playing them in abundance. Called by the Grave not only addresses hand trap Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but it's so good in this format because everything is so graveyard reliant. Being able to banish an opponent's card and then preventing it from being activated until the end of the next turn is huge. Whether it's hand traps or it's your opponent's important monsters like Rocket Tracer, Misk, Outlich, the Golden Lord, Alistair the Invoker, the list goes on. This card is pretty insane right now, and you should be playing it inside of your main board, if not your side deck. Compulsory Evacuation Device, I feel like, is a Oh no, what are you doing, baby? I do love that Compulsory evacuation device does have the versatility, like Book of Moon, sometimes being able to save your monster, but what are you saving it from? This ain't no role models. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Let that thing hit the graveyard. While again, I do think Compulse is a good card, just right now isn't the format. Maybe when we get to a format where more Exceed monsters are being played and you can take advantage of your opponent losing materials, then it'll be a great card. But for right now, I would not consider playing Compulse. Cosmic Cyclone is another card that you better be caught with than to be caught without. Cosmic Cyclone is easily the best back row removal card in the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. Not only does it get rid of the threat, it banishes. Boy! Getting rid of trap cards like your opponent's Outlich cards is amazing, but even against decks that don't necessarily play back row, this card is still really good. Even against the matchups that you don't think that this card is useful, like Rocket Dragon Link, Dragon Maid Tiding, World Legacy Guard Dragon, and Boot Sector Launcher, all cards that Cosmic Cyclone can not only get rid of, it banishes, so no graveyard effects. This card is seriously a card that I feel that you should be playing possibly inside of your main board if you can, because it's just that powerful. The next card is Crackdown. I'm gonna put Crackdown in the oh no, what are you doing, baby? Now, just like how I be taking these dudes, girls out here, I love taking my opponent's monsters. Unfortunately, because of cards like Dragon Maid Tiding, Celestial Seal of Heavenly Spheres, and cards like Cosmic Cyclone being on the come up, as well as negations through cards like Borreload Savage Dragon and protections like Miscellaneous Ceres, Crackdown finds itself in a very interesting spot. It's a card that not only can be negated through regular Yu-Gi-Oh cards, it can also be interrupted with spell and trap cards or monster effects that actually get rid of the card before it can resolve. Moving forward, Dark Hole is an oh no, what are you doing, baby? In a format where True King of All Calamities was the top dog and negation wasn't prevalent, Dark Hole was amazing. And I still have to say Dark Hole isn't a terrible Yu-Gi-Oh card. You can catch monsters like Borreload Savage Dragon or Invoked Mechaba without the spell or hand or already use their negate, but the problem is that isn't as easy as you would think it is. There's also the threat of Outlich. What monsters? You mean those monsters that are really trap cards that they want in the graveyard, so they play link monsters to get those monsters into the graveyard? You're gonna send them to the graveyard? Thank you very much. I do think cards like Dark Hole could shine in like a budget dino deck where you can attempt to destroy normal monsters, including your opponent's Outlich cards, protect it with Lost World and destroy a baby from deck, but then we're getting really specific on Dark Hole's functionality. The next card is going to be Evenly Matched. I'm gonna put Evenly Matched in the underrated category. I don't know how many times I have to put this card in underrated. Evenly Matched is a board-breaking Yu-Gi-Oh card that forces your opponent to banish their cards face down. They ain't getting those back. And while we are in a negation-heavy format, if you got the drip to play Forbidden Droplets, this card works in perfect tandem with it. Drip drop, flip flop, negating your monsters on TikTok. We ain't evenly matched you a thick thought. Seriously, Evenly Matched is a terribly powerful Yu-Gi-Oh card that you should consider playing. I feel like Forbidden Chalice is a situational Yu-Gi-Oh card, and the reason why I put it as situational is because if you're playing it, you probably can't afford the Forbidden Drip. Not saying that that's a bad thing, niggas got other things to do with their money. I ain't here to knock you, but Forbidden Chalice is a card that is amazing against certain interactions, like when your opponent wants to use cards like Borreload Savage Dragon, and is weak against other things like Misk is a card. Overall, I do praise Forbidden Chalice's versatility and the fact that you don't have to discard cards or send cards from your field to the graveyard to negate card effects. I really want to put it in the underrated category, but I can't think of too many situations where it would be better than Infinite Impermanence or Forbidden Droplets. Now we're going to go to the Forbidden Drip. This is a card that I feel is you better be caught with it, but since I love my budget players, I'm gonna say it's really good. Now, the true reason why this card isn't in the you better be caught with it category is because not every deck needs the Forbidden Drip. Oh, y'all gotta see me, Shaq. He in the Forbidden Drip. Boy. Okay, so Meshach always wears a blue shirt, but this time he got on the plaid blue shirt. Boy. I say Forbidden Drip and that man just appear. Forbidden Drip are amazing in Yu-Gi-Oh decks that don't care about the cards or can benefit from the cards that they're sending to the graveyard, as well as decks that can struggle going second. If you're not playing a deck that can meet that criteria, then Forbidden Drip just ain't for you. And that's perfectly fine. Not every single Yu-Gi-Oh deck needs this card, but it is a very, very powerful card at breaking boards. Next is going to be Harpie's Feather Duster. You better be caught with the duster, ladies and gentlemen. This card is amazing. Shouldn't really have to explain it that much. Ice Dragon's Prison is, oh man, I'm just gonna put it in the very, very, very good. I feel like it's an understatement when I put it in pretty good and then say it's very good, because pretty good is, let's just go ahead and rename it as very good, because man, these are very good. Ooh, very good Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like seriously, they're amazing. Ice Dragon's Prison is great in every single Yu-Gi-Oh matchup, whether it's Rocket Dragon, Link, Eldritch, Invoked, Dino. This card, I mean, come on. Banish 2 cards, 1 on your opponent's field and graveyard. Who was thinking when they made this card? It is insane right now. Next is Imperial Order. I feel that Imperial Order is actually an underrated Yu-Gi-Oh card, with some of the must-play cards being spell cards like Harpie's Feather Duster, Cosmic Cyclone, as well as cards like Forbidden Drip and Dark Ruler No More being very, very powerful Yu-Gi-Oh cards. This is actually a card that can counter every single one of them. Well, except for Forbidden Drip if they send a trap card. But other than that, Imperial Order is amazing for combo decks that want to counter those type of cards. It's a card that you should strongly consider playing if you're a combo player and are having a hard time against those particular cards. Next, Infinite Impermanence actually has moved all the way to the very, very good category. Now, last format, we said Infinite Impermanence was not a great Yu-Gi-Oh card because of True King of All Calamities. Well, guess what got banned? Infinite Impermanence dodges cards like Triple Tactics Talent and Called by the Grave, as well as negating a crucial monster effect. Lightning Storm is also another very, very good Yu-Gi-Oh card. The difference between Lightning Storm and cards like Raigeki and Dark Hole is its versatility. Lightning Storm can force those monster negations. It can also rid that back row. That's the reason why this card is very good as opposed to Dark Hole and Raigeki, and that's really all there is to say to it. I feel that Mind Control is actually I want to put it in the situational, and I think that's exactly where it can be. Mind Control is amazing because it snatches your opponent's monster, but not every single time you can use the opponent's monster you're snatching. Moving forward, Mystical Space Typhoon, I feel, is a, oh no, what are you doing, baby? Cosmic Cyclone is the superior card in this particular situation. The only thing that I can think of where Mystical Space Typhoon would be a better card is in Sky Strikers, where sometimes you might want to destroy your own field spell card to get Ray to your side of the field. But other than that, I mean, do you want to help Eldritch players by putting their spell and trap cards in the graveyard? This doesn't make any sense. Paleozoic Dynamiscus is a very, very good Yu-Gi-Oh card, being able to banish cards like Cosmic Cyclone while also being able to banish monsters on the field and not having to discard until the resolution of the effect. Oh, that's amazing. Now Raigeki is an, oh no, what are you doing, baby? For the exact opposite reason why Lightning Storm is a very good Yu-Gi-Oh card. That ability to destroy spell and trap cards really gives Lightning Storm that edge. If you guys cannot afford Lightning Storm, I guess it could be right in the right situations, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the, oh no, what are you doing, baby? And Solemn Judgment. Where does Solemn Judgment rank on here? Is it a very good Yu-Gi-Oh card? The answer is actually, it's very situational. Now, Solemn Judgment is a very situational Yu-Gi-Oh card because it's good at stopping very particular instances, but those instances don't always happen. You can't just willy-nilly Solemn Judgment anything in the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. You can very much pay for it. Using Solemn Judgment on cards like Lightning Storm, Harpie's Feather Duster, very critical cards that can cause you to lose the game, can turn the game into your favor. But turning around and Solemn striking your opponent's Guard Dragon LP or their Borreload Savage Dragon, paying half your life points isn't always worth it, dog. Solemn Judgment probably finds its best spot in back row heavy deck sideboard, where it can be utilized against cards like Red Reboot or even Harpie's Feather Duster or Lightning Storm, so you can keep the tempo of the game. Solemn Strike is a very, very good Yu-Gi-Oh card, or should I say Solemn Strike. This card is amazing, damn near stopping every single monster summon in the current Yu-Gi-Oh card game, links, synchros, contact fusions, exceeds. This card is amazing, but it also stops critical monster effects as well as hand traps. This card is godly. 1500 life points, never felt so easy to spend. And then we move on to Solemn Strike, or Solemn Strikes. Big brother in Solemn Warning, and we're gonna put this in the oh no, what are you doing, baby? Seriously, the only thing that Solemn Warning can actually stop over Solemn Strike, I think, is like normal summons in cards that invocation summon, which kind of not, because if they have Magical Meltdown face up, then what are you doing? Unfortunately, Solemn Warning is a Yu-Gi-Oh card you should stay clear away from right now. It's not very good. Moving forward, we got my man's Super Polymerization. This is a oh no, what are you doing, baby? I actually think we can move this card on to situational. Super Polymerization is good at outing Red Eye's Dark Dragoon if your opponent summoned it with Vert Anaconda, but I think that's about it. Players were citing Super Polymerization to beat Dragon Link, but a lot of Dragon Link boards end on Heretic Seal, Borreload Savage, Appaloosa. None of those are Super Poly targets. And while Super Polymerization could be played in decks like Shut All and Invoked with ease, that's why it's in the situational category. It doesn't really work for everybody. Torrential Tribute, you should already know, is a very, very good Yu-Gi-Oh card. I could say Needle Sealing would be in the exact same category. Blow up all of your opponent's monsters. Different from Raigeki and Darkhold because it's a trap card that can interrupt when your opponent is trying to make a board. And of course, Triple Tactics Talent fits that exact same bracket. Very, very good Yu-Gi-Oh card. Amazing. Being able to draw cards, look at your opponent's hand, or snatch they main monster like Hobby. Snatching, well, you already know right now. This card is a godsend. I feel like Twin Twisters, even though there is a lot of back row, it's a situational Yu-Gi-Oh card because sometimes that back row wants to be in the graveyard or would not mind being in the graveyard, and banishing should be the thing you're looking for. And then Upstart Goblin is a card that is, oh no, what are you doing, baby? Imagine playing Upstart Goblin in a format where Droll and Lockbird is a very powerful hand trap. You're not gonna like it. Trust me, you're not gonna like it. Just play another powerful Yu-Gi-Oh card. Don't play Upstart Goblin. Not a great idea right now. Well, that is all that I have for a complete list of the staples tier list. If you guys feel that there's some staples that I forgot, go ahead and list them down below in the comment section. I'll be sure to include them in the next staples tier list. Also, be sure to destroy that subscribe button. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Go ahead and destroy that subscribe button. Let's get to 100,000 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. Also, be sure to check out these videos as I'll catch you on the next one.